Hey there, we're at video 22 and we are going to do a quick recap of the last little bit since the relapse. I'm finally getting to a better place. It was very difficult to move past that and let go of the shame and the guilt. I found that um, just that I kind of needed that relapse. Now, in retrospect, having the vulnerability to connect with people more intimately has been actually very rewarding. And I don't think I would have got that without the relapse. So I'm grateful. I was trying to find the positivity in everything, and um, I'm still, struggling with relationships, interacting with people. It's getting better, definitely, and I definitely feel like I'm able to properly interact for the most part. Um, Triggers and hidden triggers aside, that's something that I'm not ready to get to yet, but they're getting farther and few between. I have most of my PTSD symptoms more or less under control. Um, I had an incident actually last night where I was checking in on somebody to make sure they were okay when I was walking my dog. So I was on my phone, and then my dog's getting a little senile and has cataracts. So he saw another dog and started acting all crazy. Almost ripped my arm off because of the leash was wrapped around my arm. And then the woman started yelling at me and saying I should pay attention. And like usually in that situation, even if I'm in the wrong, I would completely freak out and start cursing and swearing and calling them down. This time, I just asked her to mind her own business, and then she kept going, and then she followed us for a couple blocks, screaming all these things at me, and I just let it go, walked all the way home, didn't say a thing, but inside my blood was boiling, and I did not want to react that way, but my sponsor said something to me that kind of stuck with me, and that was, what is losing my temper going to do for me today? And that's absolutely nothing. Make a bad situation worse, and possibly let it build up and get in my head and let it overthink, and then just get to a bad place, and then just spiral. That's what we do. So in order to not put myself at risk, I thought it was better to just walk away and let it go. Who cares what one person I don't even know thinks, says, doesn't know my situation, and doesn't know, about my dog or anything like that. It's really easy to judge other people when you have no idea what's happening in their lives. She thought I was just like being self-centered and vain, being on my phone, but like I was generally just checking in to make sure somebody was okay. And then they messaged me back at that time, and then like whatever, it's my business, it's none of yours. But like people feel like they have to dictate other people's lives. And you know what? I used to be one of those people, so who am I to judge? um, I do feel like I'm really letting go of the relapse now. Um, I'm trying to like not hold on to situations. I getting trying to get to a point where like I can openly tell people 100% how I feel about things or situations, stuff they are causing to me, how they make me feel in situations that pertains to how they interact with me, and being 100% just open to be comfortable to tell them the truth. Because for one, I've never liked to hurt anybody's feelings. For two, I don't want to say something the wrong way and get it misconstrued, and I definitely don't want to be like come off as I'm superior by any means, because I'm so not. And I don't want to cause tension. I feel like I'll probably that fear of rejection of people walking away from me growing up, or when I've had hard times, I always have that in the back of my head that if I'm honest with them, they're not going to like me, or they're not going to like what I have to say, and then they're going to leave, and then I'm going to lose that person. And I'm like, if they would do that in the first place, well, they're really obviously not a good friend. But it is still hard to like recondition years of how I am, how we eventually become, years of instances, situations, and stuff like that. It's hard to let it all go. It's hard to be 100% vulnerable, and it's hard not to think in the back of your mind that this person is either going to judge me, get mad at me, freak out. It's never happened, but people have respected the truth. I found that people that they tend to respect the truth more than just lying or being, avoiding, telling you something just to like spare your feelings. There's, a time and a place for that, but I really want to be as open as I can in the relationships I have, because that is where real true honesty is where relationships grow and connect the most, and I truly believe in that. So, and then there was another incident where like I felt like my authentic self was too much. Someone made me feel like my authentic self was too much for them, and I brought up all the stuff from the past of years since I was a kid, saying you're too hyper, you're too talkative, you're too much energy, you're not enough energy, you're too gay, you're not gay enough, you're too straight, you're not straight enough, you're this, that, the other thing. Basically, everything who I am as a person is not appropriate for everybody. But you know what? I don't care about that. I want to, like this, since my walls broke down, I'm more my authentic self than I've ever been in as long as I can remember. I don't have those nagging things in the back of my head saying, don't do too much of this stuff. I'm just letting myself be me. And if that's too much for some people, well, like, that's too bad. He later like said that, that's not how he meant it, and be my authentic self, of course. But it still sparked that little bit in the back of my mind about all that stuff that, people told me. I'm not stupid. I know I'm too much for some people. I have had ADHD since I was a kid. I overtalk. I get really super hyper sometimes. I can't sit still. I go on and on and on and on and on. And, I have no false ideas about who I am as a person. I think that if you like you care about somebody, you accept them for who they are, faults and all. I have no problem accepting people as they are, but I do expect, if I accept people in my life for who they are, they accept me for who I am. I don't think you should change people to your liking, because that's not really what that's not fair to either one party, and you shouldn't have to do that. You don't like somebody or something about somebody and it bothers you that much, you probably shouldn't hang out with that person. That's just honestly the truth. I've had relationships in the past where like some people, there are certain things that I just couldn't handle from certain people, and they were too much for me. But that's a whole nother thing. There's certain things that we as people, like, little, say, faux pas that bug us or get under our skin. Some people have them more than others, and some people, there's the odd person that just drives you up the wall crazy. You can't stand them more than like a small dose of a few minutes. It happens. I'm guarantee you there are people out there that feel that way about me, and there's definitely people I feel that about them. And you know what? You just try to do your best. You know what? That's the whole thing about recovery. It's all coming clear that, you just don't stress over the whole getting somewhere at a certain time, or what you're going to say at the meetings, or what you're going to say to people when they ask. It's all this stuff going through your head of like overthinking every situation and what people are going to think. All you can honestly do is do your 100%, do your best. Just do your best, the best you can, and that's all you can do. You can't push someone beyond their limits, and you can't force anything. You're just going to hurting yourself in the long run. And honestly, that's all I've done. I only know how to live too fast, too much too fast. I don't know how to slow down. I don't know how to live a life that isn't in excess. That scares the hell out of me. I have to learn how to live not in excess. That's the only way I know how to live. It's all or nothing for me. It's always has been. I've had no medium speed my whole life. But I know that if I don't slow down, not only am I going to keep relapsing because I'm going to push myself too much, but I'm going to fuck up everything in my life, because there's certain things you just can't rush. And, you know what? Recovery is a huge thing that you can't rush. You can't make somebody better by a certain time. Not everyone's completely different. Everyone has different amounts of trauma. Everyone has different amounts of things they hold on to, things they can get past, things they can't get past. Therapy works differently for different people. You can do everything right and still not move past certain things, and that's just the truth of it all you can do is the best you can. So anyone watching out there, don't give yourself such a hard time. Don't hate yourself. Don't think that you're not going at a certain speed that you should be going. You're going as fast as you can. That's all you can do. And I didn't get that before my relapse. I wanted to be recovered, and I wanted to be recovered like today or yesterday really. But and then, like, not only that, what kept me in my loop, in my addiction, like, was the fact that I couldn't admit that I fucked up, and I had to start over. I didn't want to start over. I couldn't stand the thought of starting over. But starting over is not a bad thing. Clearly, I wasn't doing it right to begin with, so it was for the best. So with that being said, I'm happy to move past that now. I understand the whole concept truly of one day at a time. And it's hard, but like when you think of anything collectively, like it is too much. I feel like it's too much anyways. And when I look at one day at a time, one morning at a time, and 1 hour at a time, everything just seems manageable. So, yeah, last time when I was taking on too much, I didn't say anything. I let myself collapse and into it, and because I didn't want to burden anybody. This time it's not going to be like that. For one, my schedule this month is crazy. It's crazy with a lot of recovery stuff and school related stuff because I got approved for school, so I'm going back to school, and I want to be in a pretty, as stable as I can be by the time I start in fall. So for that to happen, I need to focus on recovery is 100% right now, not get distracted by anything, and really focus my energies, but still at the same time keeping it nice and slow, one day at a time. So that's my goal. And I had to cut my job loose because it's one day a week, but it's very physically demanding, and like sometimes I would be dead tired after work. I couldn't do anything. Sometimes a day or two afterwards, because of the physical demandingness, I couldn't do anything those days either. And I can't risk of not doing anything recovery related because I'm too tired or burnt out. And I definitely cannot start a 12-hour day exhausted beyond all reason. So it was just, I only had a couple more shifts left, a few more shifts before I had to go start school anyway. So like, it just made sense to free up that day for a little bit more. I left the events committee at the church too. It was the only thing at the church that was just really stressful for me, just because it's a lot too much. I have too much responsibility. The key is, like, I need responsibility, but I need just a little bit less because I do have a home life too. I'm the head of my household. I have a bunch of pets, and I take care of everything around here, and it's a lot of responsibility, and like everything on top of like getting to meetings, making sure I'm there on time. I have to ride my bike. I physically have to get all over town, like pedal all over town, and it's very physically demanding, and it's exhausting. I'm tired. I'm really tired, and even even going to one hour meeting, I'm there for almost 2 hours, plus the travel time, plus getting ready, plus I got to do the animals and walk and feed and everything in between. And then I'm doing the gym, and because I'm trying to get my body back to, a healthy state, because I did a lot of damage, for what I did do it during that relapse. So I just want to feel good health, mind and body. And I think that's a good enough priority right now. So that's where we're focused on. I really am excited to start school, and I'm gonna be, I don't know, it's just gonna be so great when I think about it. Try not to think too far in advance, but it is coming up, and I am at most at peace when I'm doing art. That's what I used to get off the drugs, and wean off, is like doing artistic expressions, painting, creating things, redecorating, and I love doing that. It's when I'm most just content and my soul's at peace. I'm just quiet and I can just reflect. And so going to school for that is going to be amazing. It's not going to be hardcore essays and like deadlines and stuff like that. There's going to be deadlines, but it doesn't, when you're doing art, it doesn't feel like you're working, or it doesn't feel, it's not the same. You know what, it's not the same. It's when you generally super enjoy it, it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like you have to do, like I could just lose myself in creating something. And I can really use this as a therapeutic tool to get out everything that I'm holding in about my addiction, and like I can put that onto my artwork. And this is going to be a great artistic outlet to like really heal, I think, and I truly believe that. Art has been proven to help heal people with mental illness and disabilities and stuff like trauma and stuff like that. It's very therapeutic. So I've already found it to be very helpful in what I've done, and I've liked it since I've been an artist since I was a kid. I've been obsessed with like creating things. I've always been very creative, and like this time going to school, it's going to be about me enjoying school, and it's going to be about just having fun and not being stressed out and worried about what job I'm going to have and worried about how much money I'm going to make. It's not about that. This is for me this time, and that's why I feel like it will bring its own success, because I'm not doing it for those reasons. I'm doing it because this is just what I want to do for me, and I know that if I put my heart in this, it's going to be, if nothing else, one of the best experiences of my life, and it's going to allow me to like really work through some stuff in my life. So I can't honestly wait to start. It's going to be great, and to share that with the rest of the world and my creative gifts is a whole nother thing. um, and yeah, so I just get excited about it when I start about thinking about it. So that's something to definitely look forward to. And like I sent in all my stuff and everything, so I got nothing, but I can just wait pretty much. I can just sit here and relax until school starts. I got a few things to do before, but it's very minimal. I got as much done, as much as I could get done in one day, done the very first day after I got the email. Excuse me. And so I just didn't want to procrastinate, because procrastination is no one's friend. And let me tell you, if you're a procrastinator, you can agree that if you don't do something the minute you think about it and it needs to be done, that ain't getting done till the last minute, almost every time. So years of doing that, I have learned my lesson, let's just say. I'm not touching base on relationships again. Being able to connect with other members of the fellowship the way I have lately, it's made my recovery so different. Thank you all for being there, loving me, taking me back, and after everything, I was so scared how people were gonna look at me, but I've never felt so welcome back, and like they made me feel loved, and even when I wasn't loving myself, and it was truly amazing. And that's I think what everybody needs to be successful in recovery, is that someone believing in you, and feeling that love, because I didn't really feel that before. I guess I never really paid attention to how damaged my relationships at the time were. And you know what, I believe in a lot of these people. Like everyone I know is like, we're all the same person. We've all gone through the same like kind of similar stuff, and we're all struggling with the same things. And we, if we support each other, we can get through it. And I know that, and I just want to support them as much as they support me, because they mean a lot to me. And I just hope that we'll all be friends forever. And I had a hard time holding on to friends before, but honestly, they were wrong kind of friends anyway. So a lot of those people, people you party with and go meet at the bar, or meet at a, on the street after the bar, and the freaking Sabaki stand or whatever. Those people, you party, have drinks and stuff like that, but those, they're not your friends. They're your party friends. I understand that now. And you're not going to spend years together with most of your party friends. That's just the hard truth of it all. I mean, some of us that are desperate for friendship, will go and seek it out wherever we can find it, but we just end up attracting the wrong people. I think everyone can agree with me on that. Um, my energy has been different lately. I feel like it's been kind of back to where, not where it was before the relapse, but like better than. I guess since my authentic self is shining out so strongly lately that it's its own beautiful energy surpassing what it was before. I do feel I do feel the light again. I feel the love of God. I feel like the gratitude. Let's just say that. I feel the gratitude fully, not like after the relapse where like I didn't feel anything, but like I was so scared that I wasn't gonna feel it again, but I feel it so much stronger than before. Maybe because like I have the appreciation that I didn't have before, but I'm grateful, so grateful. I tell God every day I'm grateful for the waking up and having another day, for having all the blessings that I have, and I have more than most. And you know what? I lose sight of that, and we all lose sight of that. I think we don't see it until you get to step out of the picture and take a look back and like really see, you know, that. And when you see somebody that has nothing or that's struggling, and you know they don't even have a home, or they, you know, don't have, not working, or like just trying to get by or have a meal, it makes you feel like, wow, I have so much, and I'm just being a selfish ass and not even like taking into account how much like I really have in life, and I don't appreciate it, and I'm just being this self-deserving person of like, you know, it's not enough. But like, what more do you need? A roof over your head, food on the table, you know, and you know, some loved ones that care about you and that you care about so much. That's more than what most people have, and that's the sad truth of it all. We should all take a minute, step back, look at our lives from afar, and really see what blessings God has given us, and then maybe we'll all be a little bit more appreciative. I don't know if you've been on the roads lately, but you see how people drive. People don't appreciate shit in a fucking car. I tell you that. I almost got taken out by two cars cutting me off when I had the right of way because they had to get into a drive-through, or one for Burger King and another one for a gas station. But number one rule of the road: look both ways, even at a one-way street. I don't have a license, and I even know that. So that's annoyance beyond all reason, because there are pedestrians, and pedestrians do have the right of way, and people on bikes have the right of way, and like you can't turn without looking. That you can kill somebody, and you act like it's not a big deal. It's a big deal. People get killed all the time because of that exact thing. So to anybody driving like or watching this, that's, you know, now kind of uh, looking at their driving skills like, oh, do I do that? Just, you know, be safe out there. Understand there are other people on the road and on the sidewalks, and because you don't want to kill anybody, and you know our lives matter too, just because we don't drive. um Anyways, I hope everyone watching this is doing well, and thank you for supporting me in my videos and standing by me, and the messages I get of support are truly appreciated, and I am grateful for every single one of you. So thank you. That's enough for today, and bye.